Hello guys, welcome to this amazing YouTube channel Era of Medicos again, and today we are going to start physiology, and this is the first video of physiology. So let's start. When we talk about physiology, the first chapter we talk is the functional organization of body. So what is this? This actually physiology. What is physiology? First define that. So physiology is the science which deals with physical and chemical mechanism of body, all type of mechanism, like example is like origin and development and progression of life, how does the things occur in the body, and etc. Physiology is further divided into viral physiology, bacterial physiology, cellular physiology, plant physiology, invertebrate physiology, vertebrate physiology, mammalian physiology, human physiology, and many more branches of physiology are there. But what we have to deal in MBBS is, of course, the human physiology, because we are dealing with the human body. So we are going to study about the human physiology. So let's write here human physiology. So we have to study about human body, study the mechanism of human body. You should be amazed by hearing that the number of RBC is around 25 million in each person, and the entire body contain about 35 to 40 trillion human cells. So you can think that human body has 35 to 40 trillion cells, in which 25 million is only your RBC. RBC means red blood corpuscles or red blood cells. When we are actually discussing about the intro part of the physiology, so we will not go in detail of everything now. I am only giving some detail, some upar wala things for the whole physiology. So let's talk about the another topic, microbes in our body. You know that our body is a very vast ecosystem, and we have lots of microbes living on us. And actually you should be amazed again that trillions of microbes are there on your body right now, and only your gut have 400 to 1000 species of microbes. So you can imagine that the number of human cells are less than the number of microbes in your body. That means you are more made up of microbes and less made up of human cells. Now actually these microbes population is known as microbiota. Let me highlight this. Yes. Now we are going to talk about extracellular fluids. So you know that 70% of your body is made up of fluid, either water or either any type of fluid, and that also 1/3 of those are extracellular, because we are discussing about extracellular. So 1/3 of the 70% of fluid in your body is actually extracellular fluid. That means these resides outside the cell, and all these extracellular and intracellular fluid mixes with each other. With intracellular fluid, they mixes with each other, and it is known as milieu interior, whatever you pronounce it as. And this term is given by Claude Bernard. Thanks to him, we have to learn this much of hard words. Now, what is the difference between extra and intracellular fluid? We have two type of fluid, one that reside inside the cell, that is the intracellular fluid, and the other which reside outside the cell, and that is the extracellular fluid. So what is the difference between them? So extra contains sodium, chlorine, bicarbonate ions, nutrients, CO2, and the wastes, while the intra contains potassium, magnesium, phosphate, and other things required for the inner environment of the cell. Now, the next topic is your homeostasis. What is homeostasis? You all know from the class 12 or class 11, that is it's the maintaining of internal environment of body. Internal environment of body, right? Given by Walter in 1929. Just remember this. You don't have to learn this. And there are 2 points here, that the hydrogen ion concentration is less than 5 nanomoles per liter, and the Na plus concentration is few millimoles per liter. So all these are maintained in your internal body environment by the process known as homeostasis. Now, what happened during disease? So when disease happen, any type of disease, either it's cough, cold, or big diseases like HIV or even COVID. So what happens is that it disrupts the homeostasis of body. So what happens is, to maintain the disruption, the body actually compensate. But during this compensation, major deviations occur. Like I give you an example. Think that if your kidney is unable to excrete the waste products, unable to excrete, so what happened? It lead to the high blood pressure and high concentration of ions in the body, in the blood, that leads to the high blood pressure. And due to the high blood pressure, after some time, this blood pressure damages the various organ, causing even more damage. So to just compensating the disruption caused by any disease in the homeostasis of body, the body actually continues to harm itself. So these are things we have to study in physiology. I write this here, that kidney unable to excrete leads to high BP, that again leads to damage to internal organs, right? There is a term here known as pathophysiology. What does it refers to? So actually what happens in pathophysiology, that we see that how a physiological process can be altered by a disease. How can be the disruption in the main homeostasis of body is caused by any type of disease, either it's cough or it's a very complicated type of disease. So pathophysiology refers to a study of physiological processes altered, right? Now what we are going to discuss is the mixing of extracellular and intracellular fluid. I have told you what a extracellular fluid is and what is intracellular fluid is, and are they different. Now I have also told that they keep on mixing with each other, and that's why it is known as Millie interior by Claude Bernard. So now I will tell you how those how these mixing occurs actually. Mixing of extracellular and intracellular fluid. So how does the mixing occur? So mixing is an two-stage process. First, it occurs in blood vessel, and then the movement of blood, of course, in capillaries to intercellular space. Actually, capillary wall are permeable to most molecule in blood, except protein, as you already know from the class 11th physiology parts. And the process of diffusion caused by the kinetic movement of molecule in the plasma. So actually, the when any molecule diffuses through the capillary membrane, it diffuses because of the kinetic movement of molecule in the plasma. Actually, the movement of another molecule pushes the same molecule toward the wall of the capillary, and that's why it diffuses to the outside in the extracellular space, from where it mixes with the intercellular space of the cell. So this is the way how they are mixing with each other. Let's talk about origin of nutrients. This is also a very basic topic. Actually, I am going only giving you intro of everything in this video. Origin of nutrients. So you all know this thing. You get O2 from your lungs, nutrients from your GIT, that means gastrointestinal tract, and you get your the elimination of waste and toxic substance from the, of course, the liver and other organs like kidney, and musculoskeletal system helps in the peristalsis movement. That's why. So what happening is, what I'm going want to tell you that for obtaining the nutrients, for obtaining nutrients, various body part is used. Like you can see that for getting O2 you are using lungs, for getting nutrients you are using GIT, but to absorb nutrients, nutrient absorption and removal of toxicity, this is done by your liver, and the peristalsis causing the movement in the GIT tract, that is caused by the musculoskeletal system, of course. So you can see that various part of your body is trying to just maintain the homeostasis in your body, and this homeostasis when disturbed due to any disease, the body compensate for it, and the compensation lead to another disease. Like we have seen in the case of the kidney, when kidney is unable to excrete waste, the waste accumulated in the blood, rising the blood flow to the, नीचे डाल देते ना उधर उस साइड में. Sorry for the disturbance, guys. So how does the removal of waste product actually occurs? Let's talk about this. So removal of waste product, it is done by, of course, respiratory system. In respiratory system, what happens is that the CO2 exchange just from the lungs, from the blood to the outside of the body, and that's the way how CO2 is excreted out from the body. And you all know about this. How does the excretory system help? Of course, excretion of accumulation metabolic waste products, all these are excreted through the excretory system. When we talk about the gastrointestinal tract, we see that the feces actually get removed by your GIT tract. What is feces? Feces is the undigested matter. When we talk about liver, it help in removal of ingested drugs and the toxic material from the body. And how does liver actually excrete all this? So liver secrete the toxic material and the drugs that you take as a medicine into the bile, and excrete it into the GIT tract, where it got excreted from the body through the feces. Now, regulation of body functions. So, regulation of body function. Of course, we have to monitor every body function, every part of the body movements. So, how does all this is completed? So, with the help of two systems we have in our body, that the nervous system and the endocrine system, we actually do all of these functions. Like when we talk about the nervous system, we have three parts. One is sensory part, one is CNS part, and one is motor part. So of course sensory part receive the signals, CNS will analyze and process it, and motor part do the rest of the things, or do the operation as guided by the your CNS system. If we talk about the endocrine system, then it maintains the body through using hormones. It regulate body activities by regulating metabolic activities. I will give you an example. Like an example is thyroid hormone. And what does it does? That it maintains the metabolic activity by maintaining the rate of chemical reactions occurring. Now, if you have a body, and if you are part of this living system, many of the viruses, many of the bacteria, many of the foreign substances are going want to kill you. They want to just alter the metabolic activities of your body. Some of the parasite even wants to host you, deprive nutrients from you, and the deficiency caused by them affects you. So for the protection of body, we have two systems here. For protection of body, we have two systems. One is your integumentary system, which include skin and appendages like hairs, nail, and gland. All of them cover the body internal organs, internal system from the surrounding. The second is your immune system. So you know that immune system is consist of WBCs, and it functions as destroying invaders by how? By phagocytize them. And again, for continuing of life, the last system we are going to talk about, the reproduction system. For continuing the species, this system plays a role to generate new beings to replace old ones. So this is all for the physiology intro part, guys. And as you can see, all of these you have studied in class 11th and 12th. So this is just a recap of class 11 12, you can say. Or you can say that the topics you have left in the class 11 12, you cannot recall, you are basically going to revise them first in the physiology, and again in the biochemistry part also, and then we are going to discuss more in detail about every one of these. Some of you might also thinking that what is the difference between all these things, like क्लास 11 12 में भी पढ़ा था और अभी भी पढ़ रहे हैं, क्या ही फ़र्क है? तो फ़र्क है बिकॉज अभी मैं तुम्हें इंट्रो बता रहा हूँ, अभी आई एम ओनली टॉकिंग अबाउट द इंट्रो पार्ट, तो मैं ऊपर ऊपर से पढ़ा रहा हूँ. बट When we are discussing these all in detail, every aspect of their function, their components, then you will realize that तुमने 11 12 में बहुत कम पढ़ा था और अब बहुत पढ़ना पड़ रहा है. So that's all for today. Remember some of these words like milieu entry by Claude Bernard, homeostasis by Walter 1929. So that's all for today's guys. Like the video, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, comment on the video, your suggestions, how can I improve the video quality and the sound quality, and hope that you like the video. Thank you guys. Goodbye.